It was very rewarding being a trainer and a salesperson for Property Shark because it does so many things that you had to teach people how to use it in order for them to see the value, and once they did, they really appreciated it. You could see the appreciation in people's faces, and like I still have people come up to me like, I make more money because of what you're talking about. Things like that. And so once you get a taste of that, you see people were asking for it, people are still asking for Property Shark CE classes. So it's like, if you give a person something of value, they'll recognize that.
Sure. And I think almost with any real estate technology, there's a level of continuing education to ensure the user adoption that's necessary.
And that's one of the things also with the schools. I partner with other new programs, new technology, new apps, and so that you get the education you need and you get CE for it. You want to find out all the things that are out there to make your business better, to make your life easier, and you get to get the credits you need for it.
So who attends?
Well, real estate agents and brokers.
Okay.
But also, like, I partner with mortgage companies, lawyers, appraisers. So the people who teach for me are other professionals.
Okay.
And so you have a chance to actually establish a better network as well by attending the courses. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is what I wrote an article that's in the magazine called EAAS, Education as a Service. And so I want to partner with the brokerages, and I've got a few clients signed up already where we take the training that they receive for every agent training to get the brokerage. We can make CE classes. So
that's
you get
amazing.
CE just for getting your training. So
that's amazing. I haven't seen that yet for technology education, and I've been definitely keeping an eye out. So it's nice to meet you, and excited to hear about this.
Right.
Really
so you bring
cool.
those things right into the brokerages.
I love it. I love it, and they probably love it too because
because
it's a challenge.
It's like there's a video loop that I'm on. It's just like people dread getting their CE because it's the same classes over and over.
Right.
But if you're actually going to learn something, you look forward to it.
Right, absolutely. And I think they're struggling to figure out also in the spirit of technology, what should I be using? What is the impact on my career? And what is the time that it's going to take learning curve-wise to actually be successful using it? And I guarantee you have a whole host of professionals who've tried and failed in adopting.
And come down.
Right.
So the idea is that people in real estate are slow to adopt to technology, but they just don't know what's there. Real estate, you're a one-person business. You're busy making money. So to stop and learn is difficult, but if you have to learn anything, you might as well learn about the new things.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. So how is real estate education evolving with the use of new technology?
Well, the education, not so much, because like the rules, the state has certain rules about what you can teach and how you can teach it. So that aspect of it isn't changing, but new ideas on how to deliver the education, like what obviously is an innovation, I think.
Sure.
So making sure that you're on topic, you're talking about new things that are available, that's really the innovation, is just making sure that it's out there.
That's better than a lot of other
kind of same tired courses that you know what you're going to hear, you don't even want to go, but you have to.
So what are some of the cool kind of programs you have going on?
So there's a couple that I like. There's a company called Envelope.
Cindy McLaughlin, she's doing amazing things.
She's awesome. I love Cindy. And so I've created a class for her. Like Cindy's company, Envelope, does zoning feasibility analysis. And so you can go in and create a 3D rendering of a property that you can build on a lot based on the zoning regulations. So it takes into account rear yards and setbacks and height regulations. And so you can see exactly what kind of building you can put on a space.
Air rights, It shows you the potential with a visualization of the actual potential building. It shows you, you could do mixed use ground floor retail. You can do 60 floors. If you want to do 30 floors, you have air rights for this. It's really cool.
It's very fun. And so that's certified as a Z course. You can learn about it.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I'm learning so much. This is really cool. So tell us a little bit about how you think technology can provide a competitive advantage.
Well, the obvious way is Compass. You look at Compass Real Estate, and the way that they're just pulling agents from every brokerage all over the place. Everyone wants to work with Compass because of their technology. And that's really it right there, just the ease of the industry. Property Shark had a bit of a hand in that as well. When you think about 13 years ago when I started there, there was nothing like it. So to be able to go onto a website and get all the information you need just made agents' lives so much easier. So they went to a road. So anything that's going to make it easier for you to do the job you know you can do is going to be an advantage. So companies like Compass, because they have that already built in, is an advantage. But then also there's a company called Perchway that is a very similar product to what they have at Compass, but it's available to the public, not to the public, but to any agent, not just
Sure.
a certain company. So again, I'm working with Court as well, to
Sure.
develop on that.
Cool.
So to level the playing field.
Yeah.
That was the whole goal of Property Shark, was to level the playing field
Right.
to a degree. So that way, if you're a standout agent, you can actually separate yourself based on your talent, not just
Right.
based on your company vision.
And Compass is a great example because they have a whole floor within their office dedicated just to engineers, right? And anybody in the company can go to that floor of engineers, present an idea, which I don't find is often celebrated within some of your larger global organizations because they don't have the resources to really take advantage of all of the ideas, thoughts, innovations of their internal employees, which is such a missed opportunity because you have could be a director of marketing, could be somebody in research, could be a broker. They have a beautiful idea, but are they going to risk their career to go build a startup? 9 out of 10 startups fail. So I think capitalizing on the internal talent and providing a level of resources for the workforce that you have is so important.
Who knows better than the agents what they do?
Absolutely. They're out there, they're doing it, they feel the pain points more than anyone.
Exactly.
So Compass is a really interesting example because they're able to be agile because of the level of development talent that they have. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I mean, you saw CNYRE acquire Florida a couple of years ago, and same kind of thing. What they really bought was a team of 30 engineers to build whatever they see fit.
And that's happening. You're seeing a lot of these companies that are developing their own in-house technologies, at least buying other companies that they can add. So it's becoming necessary to happen. And then also that's something that Property Shark, when Property Shark started, there were like 5 programs. This so they pretty much, I've had situations when I was there where people would call and say, well, I need this. If I can go get the information, I can go to the program and make it. So that kind of agility is very, very useful when you're building.
Right. And I host a lot of panels and I talk to the commercial real estate professionals, both brokerage, ownership as well, and everybody has a different standpoint on should we build internally or should we outsource, and they have a completely different set of expectations from technology partnerships than one another. Some will say, we're real estate professionals, we don't belong in building software. And others will say, who knows more about our portfolio or our buildings than us? We absolutely should be customizing solutions. So I think the philosophy is totally different depending on who you speak to, and it will provide a competitive advantage, right? One way or the other.
That's the thing, like real estate is kind of like an old school industry. People are used to doing it a certain way. There's still like a lot of business done by handshake.
And they're doing it, and they're making money, they're not.
So it's like, why rock and roll? Why do anything else?
Absolutely.
But so that's kind of the difficult thing. So actually someone said to me when I was building this, younger agents are going to love this. And I was like, why just the younger ones? But it shows the the divide kind of between people who do it a certain way and people who are coming into it without built upon philosophy.
Right, and it's the folks that don't have the industry context or build the solutions. They're a 30-year-old software developer and they're building a solution that they would use if they were a commercial real estate broker, not keeping in mind that your average commercial real estate broker, we just heard in the last interview, is between 45 and 55 years old. Some of your senior guys even, up there. So I think it's also about the user, right, and making sure that you have the education.
And the technology companies that fail are the ones that want to tell the market how to use the product. You can't tell the market what to do.
No,
it tells you.
Especially in this very kind of privatized space.
So that's I think where you see a lot of issues. It's like, well, I built this, it's great. It isn't. You don't know that it's great or why it's not great. So it's doing things like that in-house is the smartest thing for brokers to do.
What's the biggest challenge in the education component of implementation? I mean, it's the key to either successful adoption or not. What are some of the challenges though?
For me, at least as a school, the biggest thing is competition. It's like for NYREI is the biggest school in the city. And most people get their license from NYREI. So it's just, okay, I got my license there, that's where I'm getting my CE from. So they're just kind of locked into that. So like I have to come to events like this and make partnerships all over the place.
Open people's minds to what else is out there.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, because education hasn't been great, nobody cares.
Right.
So it's like I just go here because I don't want to think about it.
Right.
And so if you give a person a reason to think about it, hopefully they'll gravitate towards that.
Right.
So the biggest challenge is getting people out of that mind frame that it's a necessary evil, I have to do this.
Well, and also Yeah, and also some of the stuff that we heard earlier today is that technology is going to replace me, or it's going to impede or disrupt, if you will, my value proposition, where in fact, through just simple basic education, they could really hopefully understand the full roundedness of where that could be a tool in their toolbox.
And that was, it's funny, because like that was exactly the argument people made about arbitrage. Oh, you're giving all this information away, what's going to happen to me? But the fact of the matter is, as a real estate professional, you have knowledge, you have education, you have a network. People that will help you and get a deal done. You know, like the average person can't just get a good deal by themselves. No matter what access they have, they're going to need a professional with them. And so that's never going to go away. I remember someone said a few years ago, like real estate agents aren't the gatekeepers anymore. Like it used to be like they're the person with the keys. So that's the only way you can see their property or anything like that.
They're the person with the data.
But exactly. It can't just be I have keys. You know, your value proposition has to be built.
It has to be.
And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you can fulfill that role, you'll be here.
Absolutely.
So it's not going to destroy the industry. It'll just make the industry better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, the one example, very recently I was speaking to a brokerage firm on the commercial side and talking about a space planning tool. And I was like, how come you guys aren't using this? This is a competitive advantage. And they're like, well, won't our tenants lease less space? And I just gotta take a minute before I respond, because yes, they will hopefully lease less space for a space optimization tool.
Exactly.
But if you're not part of the conversation, then you get bypassed, and they go right to that end solution to save their space and be smart about their space planning needs.
Right.
So
then if you sell them a space they don't need, then maybe it's not needed. It's like we didn't need all this space.
And that's the other concern that I have, mostly on the energy efficiency side, is I hear, well, I can't tell my client that they've been overspending by 30%, which is very hyperbole, but right? And so I can't introduce this optimization tool to them after they've been working with me for 15 years, because they're going to see this gross overspend. And I think we have to kind of get over that. Because
they'll appreciate you coming to them and saying you can spend less money now.
100% look to you as that advisor, because if it's not us bringing those solutions, it's somebody else. Those solutions are out there. So unless we're part of that conversation, we're getting bypassed. Similarly with tools like WeWork for brokers, now they have their enterprise strategy, right? A lot of brokerages still see that as competitive.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate.
I have a partnership with Serendipity Labs, which is here, and their co-working space. They want me to have my studio. They want corporate agents there because it brings people to their space. Plain and simple. They understand the value of it, and they want agents to understand the value.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely room for those types of connections because people need to see them.
Yeah. So what else can you tell us about the school? What's coming next?
Well, I'm doing a lot more events. So I'm actually in Brooklyn in May 16th for another real estate event. I won't name what it is.
Okay.
But I get CE credits for that as well. And then just really getting out there, get my name out there more. I'm going to see me the real deal.
Nice.
Hopefully, just do everything I can to make myself available and make the concept of the school, more known.
And you said you're servicing agents, both.
Yeah, so I do licensing.
Yeah, tell us a little bit
agents and brokers. So you can do your licensing online right now. We're getting certified. We currently do live licensing classes, but right now you can get your license on the website. And we have the CE classes that are available, again, online as well as live. And those are all over the city right now. We're in Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan.
Very nice, very nice. Anyone have questions? Yeah.
Just building on what you were saying, as part of your education process, to what extent have you guys, and again, I'm not from the real estate industry, I was curious, I'm in the energy industry.
Yes.
How much are you guys working on green-related leases and green property and, that type of thing?
Right. So, not anything related to the leasing, but we can create educational programs, classes built around green building. So that's one of the things that I'm working on right now. Is I have I have friends who run another school. They have a whole component that's green related courses. And so I'm working with some of the connections that I have to create courses around topics about green building, energy and things like that. So companies that I've worked for are making this a priority, and you're seeing it's more prevalent. Even you talked about Hudson Yards. It's going to be the greenest building maybe in the country.
Micro city.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's important. So the more we can educate people on what it actually means to be green, or being LEED certified, those types of things are useful to the industry. So yeah, we're creating classes.
Anyone else? All right. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.